Welcome. My name's Terry Duenas, and you're watching What's Happening. This is a program that covers actually activities, information that you should know about what's happening on Cape Cod. And today, you're going to enjoy when you learn about one of our kind of hidden resources. I'm here with Polly Goddard, and Polly is the Senior Environmental Corps Program Director?
Nope, Fieldwork Coordinator. Yep.
Excellent. Well, Polly, welcome. And today we're going to talk about the Senior Environmental Corps Program and what they do. And it's a program from the Elder Services.
It is.
On Cape Cod. And as we were talking before we started the show, it is really one of our hidden gems.
It is.
And so tell us a little bit about, if you'd like to start with telling us a little bit about what Elder Services is and what it does, and then more specifically, the Senior Environmental Corps.
Sure. Well, Elder Services does a lot of different things, and there's, protective, and there's nutrition, and there's Meals on Wheels, a lot of those big programs. And one little corner that not very many people know about is called the Senior Service Corps. And the Senior Service Corps has 3 programs that we basically do volunteer matching with seniors who are 55 years and older and agencies and organizations here on the Cape. And so those 3 programs are the Adults Benefiting Children program, and that's where we do book clubs and tutoring in local schools.
I love that one.
Yep,
That's
excellent. It's great. It's a great intergenerational program. The Friends and Neighbors program, and that's where we do volunteer matching that helps seniors with, might be driving to medical appointments, it might be, we might be working with the Baby Center or Salvation Army, other social services type organizations, a family pantry, things like that.
And we take advantage of your program,
that
program, by having seniors in a receptionist mode, and they greet and they answer the phones. It's wonderful.
They do. They come with a huge range of skills, so we can put them in almost any organization around the Cape that needs volunteers. Yeah.
Terrific program.
So the third one is my little baby, which is the Senior Environment Corps, and we work with environmentally focused agencies and organizations across the Cape. So we'll do, we work with agencies like Capabilities, Monomoy National Wildlife Refuge, Chatham Harbor Master, Dennis Natural Resources, Barnstable Land Trust,
Excellent.
Mass Audubon, you name it, and we go from the bridges to Provincetown.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Now most of that's, they're working outside.
It's not actually, we do a little bit of everything with that. We have folks who will be docents at the Cape Cod Museum of Natural History.
Excellent.
They might be leading naturalist walks, Mudflat Mania, those kinds of things. Or they might be doing, for Association to Preserve Cape Cod, we had them do a slide categorization project this year where they ended up taking a bunch of slides from over the years and getting those into the digital format.
Fabulous.
So there's a huge range. It can be from technologically based to office based to field based, huge range of opportunities.
And basically, what we wanted to do today is make people aware of these programs, and that you're in the middle of kind of an ongoing recruitment program.
We are. We're always recruiting for volunteers. People think that things go to sleep on Cape Cod in the wintertime. It's not true. There are plenty of things happening on Cape Cod year-round. And so we're always looking for volunteers. It is the springtime. We do start to ramp up. Our agencies and organizations get very busy in the summertime, obviously, when the tourist season comes upon us. There's lots to do. But we do recruit year-round for volunteers. And the qualifications are, they need to be 55 years or older, and they need to pass a Corey background check.
Great.
So that's pretty simple. Otherwise, whatever skills and abilities that somebody brings to the table, we can almost find something for everybody to do.
Certainly. Is there a minimum number of hours that they have to, or a maximum number of hours that they can volunteer?
No, I am proud to say that this year we did award a presidential award for lifetime service of 5,000 hours volunteered to one of our local folks.
That's wonderful.
Amazing work. And then so there is no minimum. As long as they are active at least 1 hour per year, they remain active with the Senior Environment Corps or the Senior Service Corps. And they will get newsletters and emails with all of the volunteer opportunities that are available to them and all of the different programs. They'll get invited to our annual luncheons that we have. They're covered by a supplemental liability insurance. So there are a lot of bonuses as well to being members. But they can do as little or as much as they want to do.
That sounds great. Now, what if you start to volunteer in an organization? I happen to be over 55, so if I were to volunteer...
We'll do your paperwork after this.
Oh, okay, thanks. What I need is time. If you're volunteering, you're a senior out there, and we're hoping that somebody is listening and will say, boy, I'd love to volunteer in an organization. And the organization isn't a match for what you really like to do. Do you kind of take them in and switch them around? Or
yeah, whatever people want to do. If they identify an organization that we're not currently partners with, we can certainly talk with that organization and become partners with them. So that's one way of opening the door. Or if they're interested in something and they haven't found a place that they can do that, we can help search out a place that would be a good fit for them.
Excellent. Now that makes great sense to me.
Yeah.
To really kind of maximize this. And you mentioned before the show, did you tell the folks at home how many volunteers that you have in your organization?
We do. We have over 550 active volunteers in the Senior Service Corps.
That's phenomenal.
It's amazing.
That is kind of an invisible workforce.
It really is.
That businesses and organizations can really take advantage of. Mm-hmm. Now, are most of your business clients nonprofits?
They are. Yep, they have to be. We do federal, state, local, municipalities, that type of thing, or we do nonprofits. Yep. Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that makes certainly an easy entree for some of the seniors to get into organizations that they really would probably not have jobs,
right?
Out there to handle. What's the average background of a senior as they come into your program?
They come from all walks of life, and that is really fun for me. As we were talking about before the show started, one of my favorite things to do is we'll do projects where I work side by side with the seniors, and sometimes I get so engrossed in the project because they're so interesting. They've come from, some of them are veterans, and some of them, they've raised children, or they're teachers or doctors, or, every kind of background, and it's really fun to just kind of lose ourselves in the work and talk about where they came from and what they're bringing, and then that helps me open the door too to what else they might be interested in beyond
certainly
what we're doing there.
Well, as you know, when you came into the studio this morning, we didn't have our volunteer, our Tuesday morning receptionist. Mm-hmm. Tony is wonderful, and she couldn't make it today. Mm-hmm. Which absolutely great. She came in, and you saw how lost we were without her.
Right.
We had nobody at the front door, and you sat in the lobby and said, they've got to be around somewhere. And we were. So we realize there's flexibility in their job, and you mentioned that she volunteers for a number of organizations.
She does. Tony is actually an amazing volunteer because she volunteers with the Museum of Natural History, Salvation Army, the Media Center. She's on our advisory council with the Senior Service Corps. So she's got her fingers in a lot of different areas, and she's one of those that I think she probably does 40 hours a week volunteering.
Wonderful.
She's very busy.
Wonderful. I mean, and it's over the years, I've noticed the volunteers have got, they're way overqualified for just sitting and answering the phone, but they're personable, they're positive, they are providing us a service. And so they're staff, you know, they happen to be unpaid volunteer staff, but they're still as important as any of the staff positions that we have. So we think it's wonderful. Now, how can somebody watching at home, a senior or even the child of a senior that says, boy, my mother would love to get involved in this type of program. How do they get a hold of you?
They can call me at Elder Services.
Great.
The number is on the screen. My
Excellent.
email address is right there, and give us a call, and we can get you into pretty much any program that you're interested in.
Terrific.
Yeah.
And now, if they call you, is it just for the senior environment program?
I can get them to the right place. But
Good.
Linda Merrill is our volunteer coordinator for all 3 programs, so
Yes.
Linda is a great person to contact as well.
Terrific.
At the same phone number.
Well, I love those. What's the most exciting or the most interesting volunteer position that you have out there now?
I'm partial to a little project that we like to call Tour to Trash.
Tour to Trash.
Tour to Trash, yep.
Okay.
I coined that a couple years ago when I came in. We have a huge trash problem on Cape Cod.
Yes.
You drive down the highway, you drive down the side roads, you pull into any of the conservation areas, there's trash.
Yep.
So we took it upon ourselves to create a team that goes out and picks up trash in conservation areas and areas like that are more ecologically sensitive. So we do that. We've done that a couple of different times. We do out on Monomoy National Wildlife Refuge every September 11th. We do a memorial project.
Fantastic.
In memory of a Coast Guardsman from Station Chatham who was killed in the towers on 9/11. And we go out there and we've picked up probably over the 3 years that we've done it about 5,000 pounds worth of trash recycling.
Unbelievable.
Yep. And then this year with the Chatham Harbor Master, we went out to North Beach Island and we cleaned up probably another couple thousand pounds of trash out there. Not to mention the roadside trash where we're picking up, you know.
That's a great program.
It's a great program.
Now, I would be interested in when I finish my career and I start to volunteer. That's the kind of program I would like to do. I wouldn't like to come in a building and answer the phone, but I would like to do something outside and moving around because I wouldn't have the focus to just sit there and answer the phone all day.
Yeah.
But I could definitely get out and pick up trash.
Yep.
That would be wonderful.
Well, the great thing about it is that sometimes we do it as a team, and sometimes folks just say, I'm taking a bag and I'm going to go walk this property today.
Great.
And they do it whenever they're available, whenever the sun is shining, or whenever it's convenient for them. So that works out great.
And they log their hours.
They log their hours, they submit a timesheet once a month, and they can get mileage reimbursement as well.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. What haven't I asked you about either Elder Services or about your senior environmental project?
What haven't you asked me? I don't know. I think we covered a lot.
I'm wondering too, is there interaction between the volunteers if you go out as a group?
You're
making a group of friends.
Yeah, there is, and it's kind of fun because we've had folks that came from, some moved here from New Hampshire,
Sure.
and these other folks moved here from New Hampshire. They never met each other before, but they are fast friends because they have that in common.
Excellent.
So there, there's those ties that bind here on Cape Cod, and also the fact that people are just really passionate about protecting our little sandbar.
I love it.
Oh, I should tell you about, we also do radon testing. And radon, as you may know, is a very lethal form of gas that's in
Sure.
people's homes. And we do testing for $30 for a test that includes the processing. Our volunteers will come out, they'll set the test, they'll show you how to close the test and ship it to the lab. So that's a very low cost program that we also do.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's terrific. Again, give us the phone number or the email address where they can contact you, Polly?
Email is great. It's polly.goddard@escci.org.
Wonderful. Email Polly if you're interested in any of these programs. Elder Services, the Senior Environmental Program is your baby. And so it's wonderful to have you here. And as we talked before the show again, we do want to get you about every month to come and tell us about any new programs, encourage people, and let them know, because there's probably people sitting at home that would love to do it, and they just don't hear about it. They haven't been invited to contact you. They feel, oh, well, I don't know how to get a hold of them. Call. If you're watching, call or send an email. That's the easiest way to get you.
Yep. I have one more plug I'd like to make if I can.
Absolutely, please.
So the other thing that we do is we do educational pieces. So we'll do things like last year we did a map and compass class, orienteering. We'll have someone come in and talk about birding on Cape Cod. We'll talk about a variety of different things, disaster preparedness, because we work with the American Red Cross. So in April 16th at 10 a.m. at the Elder Services office, we actually have Michelle Inslee, who's coming from the Wellfleet Oyster Fest, Shellfish Promotion and Tasting, they call it SPAT, and she's going to come and do a presentation about.
Good, I like it.
Yeah, she's going to do a presentation about oysters and that important fishery right here on Cape Cod.
Those are all interesting.
Yeah.
And one thing we know that as we reach a certain age, we become interested in a wider cross-section of things. And this just seems like a wonderful thing for seniors. It seems, I mean, it certainly is an economic impact for Cape Cod. It supplements the workforce so well that to have a vibrant senior volunteer system just seems to make perfect sense. Well, we hope that you'll email Polly, take a look at what she may have to offer you and what you will then offer, and bring your skills and your interests and your background to Cape Cod workforce.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Polly,
Great.
thank you. We hope we can do this again on a regular basis.
Yeah, we'd love to.
And so we can feature. Thank you, and join us again on What's Happening. We'll see you soon.